The atmosphere at BTS's Day 1 Soundcheck in Arlington became a memorable moment when Jimin appeared to notice one particular audience member near the front of the crowd. Amid the excitement of fans waiting closely for the members, Jimin suddenly made a respectful gesture toward the person, immediately catching the attention of those nearby. What made the moment even more intriguing was the way Jimin seemed to deliberately acknowledge the fan. Rather than simply waving to the crowd, his gesture appeared more personal and respectful, prompting fans to wonder why that particular person had received such special attention during the soundcheck. Almost instantly, fans began speculating about the identity of the audience member. Some wondered whether the person might have had a special connection to Jimin, while others jokingly imagined that Jimin had recognized someone he already knew. The unexpected interaction quickly became one of the small moments fans were talking about from the Arlington Soundcheck. But the biggest surprise came when fans reportedly realized who the audience member actually was. According to fan speculation, the person was not just an ordinary attendee, making Jimin's respectful gesture seem even more meaningful. The discovery added another layer of mystery to an otherwise simple interaction. So, was Jimin's gesture simply a polite acknowledgement toward a fan, or did he genuinely recognize someone special in the crowd? The identity of that audience member has become the real question, leaving fans wondering what Jimin noticed from the stage and why he chose that exact moment to show his respect. At first, fans watching BTS's Day 1 Soundcheck in Arlington may have thought the audience member was simply another lucky ARMY who had managed to get a great spot near the stage. Nothing seemed particularly unusual at first. However, when Jimin appeared to notice the person, his respectful gesture immediately drew attention. Suddenly, fans began wondering if there was more to the interaction than initially met the eye. What made the moment even more intriguing was Jimin's expression. As he looked toward the audience member, his face appeared to change slightly, as though something had caught his attention. Instead of immediately looking away, Jimin seemed to acknowledge the person with a deliberate gesture, leaving fans curious about what, or perhaps who, he had recognized. Eagle-eyed fans quickly began replaying the moment and examining Jimin's reaction frame by frame. Some noticed what appeared to be a brief shift in his expression before the respectful gesture. Was it simply Jimin being polite to an enthusiastic fan? Or did his reaction suggest that he already knew the person standing in front of him? The mystery became even bigger, because the audience member did not appear to receive the same kind of attention as everyone else. Jimin's timing, his expression, and the respectful gesture seemed to happen almost simultaneously. Of course, fans cannot know what was actually going through Jimin's mind, but that uncertainty is exactly what made the moment so fascinating. And then came the biggest question. Who was the person Jimin appeared to recognize? At first glance, they looked like just another ARMY enjoying BTS's soundcheck. But if Jimin truly knew who was standing in the crowd, that simple gesture may have had a completely different meaning. Was it a special acknowledgement? Or did fans simply capture an innocent moment at exactly the right time? The moment Jimin made the respectful gesture toward the audience member, the reaction from the surrounding ARMYs appeared to add another layer of intrigue. Some fans seemed to turn their heads toward the person, while others appeared to watch Jimin closely, as if trying to understand why he had singled out that particular spot in the crowd. For a few seconds, the attention seemed to shift away from the stage itself. Fans nearby appeared curious about what had caught Jimin's attention, with some seemingly looking at each other in surprise. It was a small interaction, but the timing made it feel different from an ordinary wave or acknowledgement during soundcheck. But what happened next made the moment even more interesting. Rather than immediately moving on, Jimin appeared to keep his attention toward the audience for a brief moment, making fans wonder whether he had actually recognized the person. The uncertainty only encouraged viewers to replay the footage and look for clues in his expression. And this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. As fans began discussing the mysterious audience member, attention shifted from Jimin's gesture to the person receiving it. Who were they? Why did Jimin appear to notice them? And why did several people nearby seem to react almost immediately afterward? At that point, the simple gesture had transformed into a small mystery at the Arlington Soundcheck. The audience member initially looked like an ordinary ARMY, but the reactions around them made fans wonder if there was something they had missed. Was Jimin simply being respectful to a fan, or had he recognized someone unexpected in the crowd? The answer may be what makes this moment even more fascinating. The mystery surrounding Jimin's gesture became even more interesting when fans began paying closer attention to the audience member involved. The person was seated unusually close to the stage, giving Jimin a clear view of them during the sound check. From that position, it would have been easy for Jimin to recognize someone familiar, although there was no confirmation that he actually knew the person. Another small detail caught fans' attention. The audience member appeared to remain relatively calm while Jimin acknowledged them. That contrast made the interaction seem even more intriguing. While other ARMYs were excitedly watching the members, this particular person suddenly became the focus of Jimin's attention for a brief moment. As the footage circulated among fans, speculation naturally began to grow. Some fans jokingly wondered whether Jimin had spotted someone connected to his personal life, while others suggested that the person could simply have been an ARMY who caught Jimin's attention at the perfect moment. Importantly, these remain fan theories, not confirmed information. Still, the unanswered questions continued to fuel curiosity. Why did Jimin appear to notice that particular person? Was it their location near the stage? Something they were wearing? Or perhaps a familiar face that Jimin recognized from somewhere else? With only a brief interaction captured on camera, fans were left trying to piece together the clues. And just when the moment seemed like an ordinary fan interaction, another question began to emerge. Who was actually standing in front of Jimin? The answer could completely change how fans interpret that respectful gesture. Until the person's identity is confirmed, however, the mystery remains. And that may be exactly why this small Arlington soundcheck moment has captured so much attention. For much of the soundcheck, the audience member appeared to be just another lucky ARMY enjoying an unforgettable moment from close to the stage. But Jimin's respectful gesture toward that person quickly made fans wonder whether there was something more behind the interaction. The mystery continued as viewers tried to understand what had caught Jimin's attention in the first place. The person's position near the stage made the situation even more intriguing. Jimin had a clear view of the audience from where he was standing, and fans noticed that his attention appeared to briefly settle on this particular person. While there is no confirmation that Jimin personally knew them, the moment was enough to spark plenty of curiosity online. Then fans began connecting the dots. As screenshots and clips circulated, some ARMYs started comparing details and looking more closely at the audience member. At first, there were only guesses, with fans joking about whether Jimin had recognized someone familiar. Others believed it was simply a respectful interaction between an idol and a fan. But as more fans examined the footage, one possibility began attracting attention. The person was reportedly not just an ordinary attendee, but someone who fans believed had a connection to Jimin's world. Still, this remains fan speculation unless the identity and connection are independently confirmed. And finally came the reveal that made the entire moment even more intriguing. The mysterious audience member was reportedly someone fans recognized as identity. That discovery instantly changed the way many viewers looked at Jimin's earlier gesture. Was he genuinely recognizing someone he knew, or was it simply a respectful acknowledgement that happened to be captured at the perfect moment? For now, that unanswered question keeps the mystery alive. As the clips from BTS's Day One Arlington soundcheck continued to circulate, fans were left wondering about the brief interaction between Jimin and the mysterious audience member. His respectful gesture looked simple on the surface, but the timing and his apparent focus on that particular person made the moment feel surprisingly significant. What caught even more attention was Jimin's expression. For a brief moment, he appeared to look directly toward the audience member before making the gesture, creating the impression that he may have recognized them. However, without Jimin personally explaining what he was thinking, fans can only interpret what they saw in the footage. The reactions from nearby armies added another layer of curiosity. Some appeared to turn toward the same person after noticing Jimin's gesture, while others seemed to watch the interaction closely. It was almost as if everyone nearby was trying to figure out what had just happened. Naturally, fan theories began appearing. Some jokingly wondered whether Jimin had recognized someone familiar, while others believed it was simply Jimin showing respect to an enthusiastic fan who happened to be seated close to the stage. None of these theories should be treated as confirmed.
But the uncertainty has certainly made the moment more interesting.
But did Jimin really recognize that person? Or was it simply a respectful gesture that fans happened to capture at the perfect moment? Was there actually a hidden connection behind that brief exchange? Or did fans simply turn an innocent soundcheck moment into another intriguing mystery? Until Jimin or the person involved provides an explanation, the real meaning behind that gesture may remain one of the most curious moments from Arlington, Day 1.